Hey, what's happening, guys? Dan Darrow here with another Options of Play video update. So, I put together that video yesterday talking about what was priced in on the indices, Qs and the SPY, some of the big levels to watch. So hopefully today kind of had a feel for what was the important focus points off the open. Interestingly, the Qs and the SPY both basically hit like the last line in the sand and are sitting there right now, meaning that the Qs you can see are sitting right underneath the 50-day, which was the last line in the sand. Above that, things could really start to build to the upside. And the SPY actually hit the 100-day and is sitting right at the 100-day. And similarly, like kind of like the last line in the sand because there's plenty of room to run above that. So right now, huge gap. Things are holding in. They're attempting to get through these really kind of critical moving averages, and this is just remains to be seen because things are still developing, and the session is young at this point, at least when I'm recording this video. So we'll see. But under the surface, a couple of big things that have taken place. So, in addition to stocks being up, you'll notice that treasuries, so bonds, have broken this really aggressive several month downtrend, right? So since we turned lower in August, the 8 EMA, which is the green line, and then the 20-day more recently has been a really tough area of resistance. Today's CPI number has driven the treasuries through the top of that trend, and that could start something more substantial to the upside, especially now because you have a higher low accompanied by a possible higher high, which also corresponds to a break of the downtrend in these moving averages. So you got that higher low, higher high reversal thing going in addition to moving through the moving averages. So definitely kind of like an interesting bullish setup forming on TLT. Also really important because the dollar and the indices, the Qs specifically, have been very attached at the hip. For the gap open in the dollar UUP, it knocked it really substantially below the 50-day. Okay, so this is the first test of the 100-day, which is the blue line, going back to February. Let's keep scrolling out. So you can see that this is basically it. So it held it in January, it held it in February, and then after that, it never tested it until today. So this is the first test of the 100-day since very early 2022, after a pretty decisive break of the 50-day, which was a big spot. So if this 100-day doesn't hold, and this is very minute to minute, hour to hour right now because it's sitting right at it, if not a little bit below it. If this doesn't hold, the dollar could really start to unwind further, and that would put some upside pressure on stocks, especially like tech, probably more specifically because UUP and the Qs have been very inversely correlated for the last few months. So a couple big developments, and this is what I'm saying. Like really worth keeping an eye on UUP and treasuries because if these start to build momentum, in their respective directions, so UUP lower and TLT higher, I mean that could really continue to fuel the run in the market. So stuff for or food for thought there. Okay. So if you like this video and you're looking for more information about trading these events with options or swing trading with options, please follow up with the link in the description of the video for more information on options and play. Have a great night, stay well, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.